Hello there, it's Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I am a soul sculptor. I'm also the founder of Love Yourself Fearlessly and Manifest a Magical Life. Happy New Year. Can you feel it? It's fabulous. I'm so glad to be here with you today. 2019 has a fabulous bevy of wondrous and wonderful events that my cats are running in front of me, that everyone is going to be so delighted. It is such a difference and departure from what we've experienced last year, where there was so much resistance and restriction, and it just seemed like we were dragging an anchor behind us. Well, all of that is done. We are done with that. And this year it's a beautiful energy. You see that light coming in through these orange trees. God's speaking here. And that is the truth, is that we're going to be finding in this year God speaking through everyone we meet. In other words, it's a year of finding that oneness within strangers, even, meeting someone on the street that you've never met and having a heart-to-heart conversation with them, making eye contact and feeling comfortable sitting next to someone, on a church pew where, you're real close together, but feeling comfortable with that. So there will be no such thing as strangers. We're getting into that place of oneness. So let's begin. Here we go. So this year, 2019, the overarching theme, besides the fact that we are all divine and the divine is flowing through and the light is coming through. Do you see this in the video? The light is coming through. So the light is coming through in all ways. And 2019 has a prevailing theme of freedom. And as with any kind of freedom that we've experienced in the past, there's a cost, and we have to be very disciplined, so that this freedom that we have doesn't get us into trouble. So, and I'll go into that in a moment, but the prevailing theme is freedom, and freedom to be you, freedom to be authentic, freedom to not be afraid to show people who you truly are, and speak your truth. Thank you, Chloe. Chloe is speaking her truth. So that is part of what's going on, but we're also in a happy-go-lucky energy. This year you can feel it already. And there's also, although 2019 has taken off like a rocket ship, the energy is very strong and powerful, but at the same time, it's gentle. The energy of this year is softer. You'll be feeling it already. You may find yourself more tender with your loved ones, your mate, your pets, more tender with yourself. It is a softening, and at the same time, an expanding time. We are all going to be expanding, raising in consciousness, wisdom, knowledge. It is a time of creativity and fabulous manifestation. Excuse me just one second. I'll be right back. Good morning. So we have to be really present with ourselves, grounded in our bodies, and we'll be able to manifest beautifully this year. Creativity means to be in the flow, connected with the divine, where the divine flows through us. And when we are in that state, then we'll be able to create whatever it is we desire. All your wishes will be fulfilled. And of course, like everything else, there's a flip side. So what does that mean? So instead of worrying, being in fear, you want to be worry-free and be in a state of wonder. I wonder how I could be warm at this event when it's outside. I wonder how I am going to be able to feel safe. I wonder how, instead of being in a state of fear, do you see the difference? So being in a state of wonderment is very different, and the vibration is very different, because the fear state means that I'm not in charge, I'm not in control, but you are going to be in the driver's seat this year. You have the opportunity to be in the driver's seat. So what's the best way to use this year? Well, first of all, let's start with January. January is a prep month. It's a preparation for what is to come. And last year you could muddle through the year without any preparation, without too much difficulty. It was a different type of year, but this year we have to have a clear direction and purpose in January. It's definitely something worth writing down. And it's funny because I was thinking about the movie Moses with Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner, and some of you may not remember it, but in that movie, Charlton Heston was trying to free the slaves, was working to free the slaves, and the Pharaoh said, "So it is written, so it is done." And that came to mind this morning when I was prepping for this little presentation. So what I will say is, what is written is infinitely more powerful than what is still up here. Writing it down. What are your goals for this year? What do you want to accomplish this year? What do you want to see manifested? So January is the time to sit in silence, and it's very important this year to have that time to get grounded. Be in your body as opposed to out there floating around in the ethers. And I'll be talking about the cautions in just a moment, so those are coming. But so you want to have some time to get grounded every day. Write down your goals. Sit in silence and think about what is it I would like to have this year that would be different than last year. What would I like to accomplish? You know, I'm doing a master class in January for a reason, to help people really get started on their best foot. You can check that out on my website. So let's see. So creativity, this is the time to write that book, write that script, that screenplay, create that new course, paint the painting. It is a fabulous time of creativity, and we want to step into that alignment. So the better your alignment is, the more ease that you will have in your life. And of course, that meditation on a daily basis will certainly help getting quiet and solid in your body. Taking time to breathe. So it is a time of fun, play, and there's another element to this year too that is absolutely lovely and so different. It's almost like a return to the 80s, where we were more in community. We're going to be in community. You're going to find your tribe, your clan. There's more kinship this year. And you know, being out with people in public as opposed to behind your computer, it is a time to, you know, to be, you know, having dinner parties at home where, you know, maybe your neighbors and you get together and you have a progressive dinner, and you do an appetizer at one house, and you might do you know, cocktails at another. You may go to the next house and have a salad, and the next house for the main course, and another house for dessert. Do you get the idea? This year is going to be vastly different than what we've had in the past. So now there is a caution for the year, but before I get into that,
you're going to make a speech someplace.
I'm doing a live. Yes.
Okay, I'll go away.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a minute. So the other thing is courses. Okay, so in the past, I'll just give you an example. In the past, especially last year, a lot of us said, you know, no more courses. I'm not going to learn anything else. I'm not going to take another course. Well, this year's different. This year's very different. And as a matter of fact, to give you an example, I just put down a big chunk of cash on a Kundalini teacher training course that takes 6 months to take, and it's going to bring up a lot of stuff and be tremendously heart-opening and up-leveling of consciousness, and I committed to do that. Now, last year, if you had told me, you know, 6 months ago that I'd be doing this, I would have said, oh, forget it. I'm not ever going to do that. So the energy of this year is one of vast expansion, taking courses that will help you do that. For example, my Scottish retreat, it's a great way. Learn to read the Akashic Records. Go to a place you've never been to, you know, something that's on your bucket list. That is the thing to do this year. Take an adventure, expand. And there are lots of different ways to do that, but this is a time for learning, growing, expansion, up-leveling, and of course, you know, we've done a lot of work letting go and clearing out that energy. We did a lot of that in 2018. 2019 is very different. Okay, now I told you, but there's cautions. So the flip side of all of this happy-go-lucky freedom energy is that there is also the possibility, and a great one, and I'm showing you an example here. So you may be looking at me and going, holy cow, you know, she's got all this jewelry on. I overindulged, and I did it on purpose because, you know, we may have a tendency, we will have a tendency, we have to really watch this. Last year, the tendency was to do too much and be exhausted, and most of us were exhausted the entire year. This year, the tendency is to overspend, overeat, overindulge in a lot of ways. Too much sex, too much shopping. So the caution is, ask yourself, do I really need a new car this year? Do I really need that new dress? Do I really need to buy another pair of earrings? Do I really need that extra glass of champagne? You know, the first two were great, but the third one may push you over the edge. You may find a forkful of a dessert is enough to satisfy your sweet tooth, but the whole piece of pie, or another piece of pie, or an extra piece of something, cake, tiramisu, whatever, makes you feel nauseous and you end up throwing up. So that's the type of overindulgence I'm talking about. It's profound, and it's already in play right now. That energy's already here. So be cautious about the overspending, overeating, overindulging. And we're returning more to nature, slowing down, softening. So rushing around is another way that we could, you know, overspend. We're overspending our energy and making ourselves tired. So we have to be careful of that too. Okay, let me just see if there's something else. Creativity will flow when you have a chance to be in silence. So if you get up out of bed, cartwheel out of bed, get your day going, and you start answering emails, and you haven't taken that time for you to really solidify your energy, get grounded, then you may find, you know, your day doesn't go the way you would like it to. So it's really important to set an intention on a daily basis. One one of my sisters in the coaching program that I'm in, Mary O'Toole, does a beautiful live video every single day, setting an intention, and she will keep you on track. So there are lots of ways that you can get the information you need, and stay tuned with those people that help you the most. And of course, the other thing is, with this expansion and course taking, etc., choose wisely. You are going to be spending money, so you want to do so with people that you can trust, that you know, like, and trust, and you know that they have what it takes to teach what it is that you want to learn. So those things are very important, because you could spend money on something that doesn't give you what it is that you're desiring. All right, let's see. Expansion. We talked a little bit about fear. If you felt tortured last year, then this year, unless you do life differently, you could continue to feel more tortured. This is going to be, everything will expand, in other words. So if your focus is on worry and fear, that will expand. So that's the cautionary portion of 2019, to be very careful that you don't get wrapped up in fear and worry, and that you're cautious with spending, and you're spending energy. And it is a time of connection and, speaking your truth, being in your truth, and enjoying being you. So it's a glorious year. It is one of manifestation. So your dreams will be met, will come true. Focus on what you want as opposed to the problem. So just yesterday I received an email from someone that said, I've got a new job. I'm starting in 2 weeks, but I don't have the money to pay my rent. I don't have the money to pay a coach. So you see what I'm saying? Instead of focusing on the problem, that's what she was doing, focusing on the things she did not have, you want to put the problem behind you and focus on the creation of what it is you desire. You look at, I would like to have X number of dollars. So how could I easily and effortlessly have the money for my rent? I wonder how I would easily and effortlessly have money show up that I would be able to pay all my bills until my job kicks in. Do you see the difference? So we're focusing on what we want as opposed to what we don't want. Enjoy this year. It is going to be a glorious, creative year of expansion, heart opening, and just wondrous energy. You can read more on my blog. I have a blog about what to expect in 2019. My website is jenniferelizabethmasters.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you so much, and have a fabulous year. Enjoy every moment. Remember to breathe and be present and be true to you. I love you. Thanks for watching.